Inside, Cooper Flag, Javonte Green makes his presence felt again.
Desde la África vinieron y entre nosotros quedaron todos aquellos guerreros que a mi cultura pasaron.
The Pistons are now 4-2, and I couldn't be more excited, but I also couldn't be more wrong about Jalen Duren. I'm sorry. I own up. I apologize. I admit when I was wrong. Let me read off the stats, because it didn't look real. This game started, twas was the night before the Pistons game in Mexico City, and I looked at the time it started, and I know it's an international game now. They're playing outside of America, so now the times change and the times differ. And there's a reason why the Pistons are playing on an international stage. I looked at the time. I'm like, yo, look, I have a life. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch this game. Of course, I tuned into the game. But let me read off the stats, because it didn't look real when I actually looked at the final product. I'm like, what? Jalen Duren did what? Jalen Duren, because usually I'm used to a worse performance. I'm going to be honest. Usually I'm worse. Usually I'm used to something a little bit more harsh when it comes to Jalen Duren, which is why I had an opinion about him, which I was wrong about. 33 points, 10 rebounds, and his field goal percentage was 81.3%. He attempted to score 16 times and successfully scored 13 of those 16 times. So Jalen Duren, I'm really impressed. But also I wanted to talk about Javonte Green and the minutes that he's playing. Javonte Green is only playing 15 minutes. He played 14 minutes last game in Mexico. He scored 7 points. He had 2 steals and 1 block. And he went 50% from the field goal line. I'm very impressed by Javonte Green. If we could just get this consistently from this Pistons team, that's a very big ask, because Jalen Duren, let's be honest, Jalen Duren's not scoring 30 points a game. He's not. Can we expect 10 rebounds a game? I think that's fair. But I think if we can just get Jalen Duren within that 15 to, 15 point per game, 10 rebounds, like a day. If he could just have like Domantas Sabonis stats, we're chilling. What we really have to worry about is Tobias Harris going to keep being consistent? Is Duncan Robinson going to be consistent? He scored 18 points last game. Is Asar Thompson? If we can just have everybody on the same thing, and I'm going to be honest, Karis LeVert needs to step up a little bit, right? He does. 18 minutes he played last game and he only scored 5 points, right? And he was a negative on the court. We can't have that, right? To win, to actually make a playoff run, to get out of the first round of the playoffs, we actually have to be better than that. But Javonte Green, what a player, man. What a player. I was looking at this guy, and also Cade Cunningham, we're doing very good defensively. This is a really good defensive team. Cade Cunningham had the most steals out of all the teams. Out of all the teams, he had 3 steals last game. That's more than anybody on the Dallas Mavericks combined, I actually think. The Dallas Mavericks only had 2 steals out of their whole team last game. Or no, 3 steals. And Cade Cunningham had 3 steals himself on the Pistons. So the Dallas Mavericks crew only had 3 steals for their whole team, and Cade Cunningham ended up getting 3 steals himself last game. So that's really good. We beat them defensively, which is why we won this game, right? Javonte Green, I'm really impressed with him for the minutes that he's playing. I remember the steal. It was either the third quarter or the fourth quarter, if I'm correct. He stole the ball, ran, and dunked it. He blocked Cooper Flag, and then Cade Cunningham, I remember just he had a steal on Dwight Powell, if I'm correct, and then he ended up turning the ball over himself, which was pretty bad. I think he just ended up losing the ball or something. But, we are really good. The Detroit Pistons are a very good defensive team. We're beating teams defensively, which I think is going to help. But we do need offense to step up a little bit. Tobias Harris needs to step up just a little bit. What we do need is Karis LeVert to step up. And Ron Holland only scored 2 points as well. So we need that. If we can just get them consistently moving at a better rate, I think we're going to be just fine. If Ron Holland can do 10 points a game, if Tobias Harris can do, let's just say 10 to 15 points a game, and Karis LeVert can also do, maybe like 8 to 10 points a game, I think we'll be fine. Because defensively, I have no problems. Defensively, if we play like this defensively, if the Pistons play like this defensively every game, tough, hard defense. And I read Asar Thompson, speaking of that, Asar Thompson came out with like a blog. The Pistons uploaded something, and Asar Thompson wrote like an excerpt of a blog or something. And he was basically talking about his journey with the Pistons and, the playoffs. It was a really good read. I read it all. And basically, it was talking about like how when Tobias Harris came in, he implemented like a new mentality within the team. And how Detroit deserves the playoffs. And what I really liked, Asar Thompson, he wrote in his blog, he said, every game that the Pistons played in the playoffs felt like an elimination game. Like they were going in, and it felt like it too. Watching the games, it felt like they were playing with their all, which I really do appreciate. I remember just the passion and the effort that they put in last year. And Asar Thompson was writing basically that every single game that the Pistons played last year in the playoffs felt like an elimination game. They played it with their all. It felt like, every game could be their last. So, and he was talking about how he wants to get back there.